Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here and welcome back to the Overwatch League Roundup. Today, it's time to get back to teams we already know. It's time for the Dallas Fuel. So, Fuel, what have you got in stock for us this season, huh? Possibly the biggest disappointers of last season in the Overwatch League were the Dallas Fuel. Obviously, we knew them as the old Team Envy roster, Envious, with big names like Taimu and Mickey and people like that. And they came in with XQC and people like that. We expected big things from this Dallas Fuel team. They didn't make the playoffs. They did improve in the Stage 4, but they were big disappointers of last season, and I hope we get to see a much reinvigorated Dallas Fuel for this season. How might that happen, you might say? Well, they are quite a normal team, not changing anything. Their branding is still the same and all that. They have changed their coaching though. So Coco, who was a main tank for the Dallas Fuel last season, is no longer a main tank for them. He is actually an assistant coach. That is along with the introduction of Jane, and Aero is now head coach. Aero and Jane on the coaching roster for this team is big. Jane is a coach for Team Canada, semi-finalists at this year's World Cup, finalists at last year's World Cup. So that's big. That's a big coaching lineup for the Dallas Fuel. That is already an improvement, even with their original roster. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, there were multiple roster movements with Dallas Fuel last season, with the release of XQC, Custer going to the LA Valiant, and then Rascal leaving. He is now part of NRG Esports, and then moved again. I believe we might be seeing Rascal later on in this series. But we get into the current changes, and Seagull did announce his retirement just after the end of last season. He is now a full-time streamer, not alliance with Dallas Fuel in any way. Good luck to Seagull. Love to see him stream. He's brilliant at what he does. Good luck to him. Chips Hyan was released from the Dallas Fuel roster, and obviously we know about Coco, who is now an assistant coach. That obviously freed up some space in that Fuel roster. So, that leaves us with Taimu, still on DPS obviously. Effect has stayed for the Dallas Fuel, which surprised me somewhat after his hiatus at the end of last season. He's obviously gathered himself and will now be back for the Fuel in this coming season, which is honestly a massive boost for Fuel. Effect was, in Stage 2-ish, was Fuel's by far the best player playing for them. So that's really good. Mickey will reprise his flex tank role, although I'd like to see Mickey play a lot of Brigitte, because he was very good in Stage 4 on Brigitte for the Dallas Fuel. Better than he was on D.Va throughout the season. Harry Hook will still be playing support. He can play a bit of DPS from that time to time. AKM will be remaining with his AKM blades. Whatever. OGE on main tank. Unco on support. Now, those are all returners from last season. Unco was a swap with Custer, by the way, if you didn't remember from the Overwatch League Season 1. So, we get to the new signings. And honestly, I think these new signings are pretty awesome. So, you might remember last season that Rascal joined the Dallas Fuel from London Spitfire. Obviously he left, but now they have acquired another player from London Spitfire. That is Closer. Closer is obviously a Korean support who is well known for his Mercy play. Played a lot of Mercy for London Spitfire last season and was honestly very good at it. And he comes in with experience of winning. Okay? Winning. He won the Overwatch League with London. Whether he played in the final or not, it doesn't matter. He has experience of play at the highest level you can get in Overwatch. It's a brilliant addition to the Dallas Fuel team. I would expect him to play a heck of a lot. And once he settles in, his synergy with OGE and that, I think could be really, really good. So, that support line for the Dallas Fuel, Closer, Unco and Harry Hook, looks really good. already an improvement on last season. I'm really looking forward to seeing Dallas play this season. Then we move on to 2 new signings for the Dallas Fuel. RCK is now a flex for the Dallas Fuel. He is from Finland and was playing for Team Giganti last season. This is an interesting addition, and I think a really good one. Team Giganti, obviously, we've talked about them in relation to, I think it's Finzi for the Atlanta Reign. That Team Giganti have always been a very good team in Europe, winning, coming second to the British Hurricane in Season 1 of Contenders, doing very well in Season 2 of Contenders. They've always been up and around there, and pre-Overwatch League era, they were winning Contenders. So, they've been a very good team. RCK has been very good for Team Giganti. Honestly, he plays D.Va, Zachery and Genji. So, I see RCK as an alternative to Mickey. And I think that's good. I think Mickey is a very good player, don't get me wrong. But I think they needed a better D.Va than Mickey. If they needed to employ someone like a Brigitte, Mickey is your go-to guy. He was best Brigitte in the league last season. But D.Va, he was slightly lacking, especially coming near the end of the season. So I think RCK is a very good fill for the role. When Mickey, you can flex Mickey in whenever you need to, and then you can use RCK when you need to. I think that's a very good addition to the Dallas Fuel. The last addition to the Dallas Fuel is actually a DPS player, and that is Zachery. This is another fantastic addition to their team, right? He was playing for Fusion University last season, the Philadelphia Fusion's academy team in NA Contenders. He played for the United States Overwatch World Cup team this year. Ultimately got knocked out by the UK team, but they did get to the finals nonetheless and beat Team Canada in the qualifiers. Zachery, very good, also very young, 17. So only just qualifies to actually get into the league by age. He has a really good hero pool. He has Widow, McCree, Tracer, Sombra, and in this series I've been highlighting the key to having a Sombra player, but he can also play Genji. Brilliant. I love a team having a player that can flex to so many different heroes. Sombra, you need the ability to flex to Sombra. It's crucial. She's not used a massive amount, but when she is used, she can be incredibly powerful. So if you've got a difficult team to go up against, if you can get a Sombra in the backline and start hacking, if you're hacking a Reinhardt, you're taking away a team's entire protection. It's incredibly powerful, and I think Zachery is the perfect replacement for Seagull. Perfect replacement. Young, very flexible in his hero roster. Honestly, brilliant signing for the Dallas Fuel. Brilliant signing. And that goes for all of it. I think all 3 signings for the Dallas Fuel in this transfer window in the off-season have been very good. Can't argue with them. Dallas Fuel have done nothing but improve in this off-season. I can't wait to see them play next season. They start off against the San Francisco Shock. That should be a really close game. The San Francisco Shock have made some really good additions as well. Dallas, you could be up there. I would say, with this roster, you are quite capable of being a playoff team. Quite capable. And I want to see you do it. I'd love to see you succeed, Dallas. And I want to see that second game of the season, Seoul versus Dallas. I want to see that pop off. I want to see... Remember the first game? Like, Dallas's first game of last season was Seoul versus Dallas. That game, I will forever remember that game on Temple of Anubis. That was insanity. And I want to see that again. I want to see Dallas Fuel take every team really close. I believe, with these additions, Dallas are looking good. I believe they are playoff contenders. I believe they are better than what we've seen. I believe that from what we've seen so far, They are better than Boston. They are better than Chengdu. I don't know about Atlanta. I think they could be pretty evens with Atlanta. So that could be a really interesting matchup. But I believe that Dallas could be pretty strong. Not quite strong enough to contend the top tiers of this league. I'm talking London, NYXL. Spoilers, Vancouver, perhaps. Philly Fusion. But Dallas Fuel look much stronger than they were last season. But this is just first looks. We thought Dallas Fuel were going to be title contenders last season, and they were by far not. So we just don't know. Dallas, looking at it so far, most improved team. But we've got a lot of teams to come. I believe next up after Dallas will be the Florida Mayhem. Now that will be longer, even though they are. That'll be a longer video, even though they are a original team. Because Florida look very different than they did. And I'll leave it at that. So, for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next video. See you then!